Bisbee, the insight you need. I'm Juju. After a months-long surge in food prices, an analysis by the United Nations World Food Programme shows that a record 345 million severely hungry people are dying of starvation. Responding to this situation, the chief of the U.S. International Aid Agency, Samantha Power, started to blame countries that have refused to condemn Russia's military operation of Ukraine risk. She singled out China and accused it for allegedly hoarding fertilizer and grain while millions of people in East Africa face starvation. The United States has been pointing fingers at the conflict between Russia and Ukraine as well as China for the ongoing global food crisis. But actually, it is the sanctions from the West against Russia that have led to Africa's food security. In June, the rotating chairman of the African Union pointed out that Western sanctions against Russia have seriously affected Africa's food security. Russia and Ukraine are regarded as important global granaries. According to data released by the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, both Russia and Ukraine ranked among the top 3 global exporters of wheat. The total wheat exports of the two countries accounted for about 30% of global exports. The conflict has withdrawn the two countries from global grain trading, and sanctions from the West against Russia have made the situation even worse. Western countries have imposed multiple rounds of sanctions on Russia, covering areas such as finance, energy, and shipping. These sanctions have made it hard for Russia to maintain foreign exchange income and shipping logistics. Some foreign buyers would not dare to purchase Russian goods, and some banks are reluctant to provide financing for Russian goods for fear of being sanctioned. All these have created hurdles in the export of Russian agricultural products. What's more, Samantha Power accused China for what she calls, quote-unquote, its absence in relief efforts in Africa. But the truth is, China as a developing country which is not obliged to give development assistance is still working closely with the World Food Programme to address the global food crisis. It has set up a global humanitarian response depot and hub in China and has provided assistance through its various development projects in more than 140 countries and regions. Just like what Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Zhao Lijian said, the US has been accusing other countries of hoarding grain and demanding them release grain stockpiles, while not scaling back an inch in its programs to convert grain into energy. The United States has the world's largest arable land and is the world's largest grain exporter. Among the 4 major grain merchants, which hold 80% of the world's grain circulation and trading rights, the top 3 are American companies. AMD Agriculture is one of them, but instead of making food for people, it plans to divert half of its supply to be made into jet fuel instead. Profiteering from high grain prices is irresponsible. We should work together to combat the food crisis and focus on building a fair and sustainable global food system.